Today we're going to talk about a new and very interesting grinder, the EasyPresso K+. Now it's not a secret that I'm a pretty big fan of EasyPresso, especially the two grinders in the JX series. So it's always a little bit daunting to try a new product to see if it lives up to the expectations. I've had this grinder for some months now, and I will say in some ways it exceeds the expectations, but in other areas I'm a bit more skeptical. So in this review we'll go into all the geeky details, and I'll try to tell you whether it's the right grinder for you or not. The first thing we have to look at is the design. It's a very well-made grinder, and when you have it in the hand it feels extremely premium. The most notable aspect is that it has this prominent adjustment ring where you can adjust it really easily. You have a total of 90 clicks in one full turn, so this means that the grinder is really easy to adjust. In my opinion, the ergonomic design is super well made. Compared to the JX grinders, it's just a little bit more narrow around the waist, and the JX grinders are already a little bit slimmer compared to the Comandante, so this one is even slimmer again, which makes it quite nice to hold. The next change is that the handle is a bit longer than on the JX grinders, and again that gives additional leverage, so it means that you can grind more coffee faster. I did show it to a barista friend who thought that the handle was a little bit too long for his liking, so I guess it's up to personal preference. Compared to many of the JX grinders, the handle knob is also a little bit more refined. It has this polished surface here, which is really nice to hold. Overall grinding, it's a real pleasure to use. The bearings are super smooth like the JX. Maybe it actually feels a little bit more smooth. The catch jar is magnetic, so it comes off really easy. You just twist it a little bit like this and then it's off. And I have to say it works really well compared to screwing something on and off all the time. It's a nice improvement of the workflow. But because it comes off pretty easily, it means that you have to keep your hand in the middle of the grinder, so if you kind of like hold it a little bit awkward, then the catch jar could fall off potentially. The grinder also comes with something really interesting I haven't seen before. So you can actually take off the bottom of the ground spin, and then you can attach this different device here, and then that will turn it into an espresso dosing funnel, like a blind shaker, where you kind of like lift up this thing here and then the ground will fall into the portafilter. So that's pretty next level. It actually works really well and does a good job of breaking up any clumps. There is also a slightly cheaper version of this grinder. It's called the K Pro, and it comes with a standard screw-on catch jar. But that model I'm less fan of because it has a pretty bad balance when you just leave it on the table. The catch bin is a bit more narrow, and combined with the long handle it means that the balance is not the best. So you can knock it over pretty easily. With the K Plus and this wider base you don't really have the same problem. I guess we also have to talk about aesthetics. How does it look? In my opinion, it's a pretty nice looking grinder, although I probably prefer the grinders in the JX series just from a design point of view. They are a bit more minimalist and the branding is a bit more subtle. I wish the logo here on the front wasn't that big, and that kind of plastic rubber material they've added here for extra grip is not the most elegant solution. The grinder also comes in a brown version, but I have to say that I definitely prefer this gray color here though. The material is nice to hold and it does give a good grip, but it's not exactly a 10 out of 10 Instagram look. But overall the grinder looks nice and it definitely feels very premium. Okay, but on to something more important. How does it grind? The K Plus is made for all brewing methods out there, so that means French press, drip, AeroPress, espresso, Turkish, you name it. I grind for Kalita and V60 around the 7.5 mark, and AeroPress is usually around 6.5 or 6, and then espresso is typically down around the 3 mark. So it's really easy to go back and forth between the settings. The adjustment is really so much better compared to other manual grinders. In my testing period, I've mainly been using the grinder for pour over and AeroPress, and it's been working really well for both of these purposes. It grinds very fast, about the same speed as the JX Pro, so that will be something like 25 grams in 35 seconds, which is really fast. The cups have been tasty. I would say that they probably taste a little bit different from the JX grinders, and that's also to be expected since the burrs have a bit of a different geometry. The JX grinders have burrs that are quite similar to the Italmill burrs that are inside the Kino M47, whereas the K Plus has burrs that look a bit more similar to the Comandante. To do a bit more of a thorough testing for consistency, I've also used the Groove Sifter to try and determine how the JX and the K Plus compare. I used 2 screens in the Groove Sifter, one kind of fine at 400 microns and one more coarse at 1000 microns. The first test threw me off a bit. It showed that the grinders were more or less identical when it comes to grind distribution. There were a similar amount of fines, similar amount of boulders, and it was almost the same down to the decimal. So I ran a couple of more tests which confirmed that the grinders are really close in terms of performance. There might be something to suggest that the K Plus has a slightly more narrow peak, but it's not something huge in terms of fines they produce. It's more or less the same. In general, the data you get from sifting is something to be a bit cautious about. For instance, if I make the grind size a bit coarser on one of the grinders, then I'll change the distribution to have fewer fines, but suddenly I'll have more boulders. So to compare 2 grinders, you need to be pretty sure that they have exactly the same setting, and you also need the same beans at the same time after roasting. And of course, you also need to be very precise with the amount of times you are sifting the beans and the way you're shaking the sifter. I would definitely not make any buying decisions based on random sifting tests, especially not when it comes down to small changes down to a few percentage points. I'm not going to share any data from the tests because when the results are this close, any differences could just as well be down to manual errors than any real difference. The interesting thing is that even though the JX and the K Plus perform almost similar in a sifting test, the difference between the two in real life is actually a little bit bigger. So again, that goes to show that grind size is more complex than just making sure that the distribution is narrow. For some extra comparison, I also included the Wilfer Uniform with SSP burrs, and with that one there was no doubt that it had a more narrow distribution since it had both fewer fines and boulders. But again, I wouldn't say that I outright prefer that grinder. In terms of flavor, the JX has more of that sweetness and roundedness, while the cups are more crisp and bright with the K Plus. I find it hard to say that one tastes better than the other or has a better or more uniform ground distribution. I think they both have a kind of signature flavor, and some people might like one or the other. The grinder is advertised as an all-purpose grinder, and it certainly goes very easily from drip to espresso with that big nice adjustment wheel. My results for espresso were a bit mixed. I pulled some lighter roasts on the flare and they were pretty good. With the lever machine, you don't have to be ultra precise when dialing in because you can adjust the pressure as you go along. Then I tried it on a pump machine, the Gadget Classic, and suddenly it was a bit more difficult to adjust. Each click is 22 microns, which makes it just a bit more challenging to dial it in compared to the JX Pro. So I would experience a difference around 8 seconds in shut time for each click. It's still possible to dial in the grinder and get the right timing for what you want, but it means that once you find the right setting, you probably have to adjust the timing by using those instead. I also pulled several shots with the 2 grinders right next to each other, and they do have quite different flavor profiles. The K Plus is more fruity and acidic, and the JX is more leaning towards sweetness and body. I must say that I'm a bit more old school when it comes to espresso, so I generally like more mellow and round flavors in the cup. With the JX Pro, you also have some additional steps, so it will be easier to dial in the shots. To give you some perspective, I do prefer the flavor profile of the flat burr Eureka Mignon to both the K Plus and the JX Pro. The K Plus also comes with the option of using the blind shaker ground spin here, and it works really well. It's designed in a way with some small indentations in the bottom, and that means that you can fit it on portafilters of a lot of different sizes. Overall, the K Plus is decent enough for espresso. It's reasonably fast. It's around the same time as the JX Pro, so that means around 45 seconds for an 18 grams dose of medium roast beans and a bit longer time to grind dark roast. I asked my followers on Instagram if they had any questions about the grinder, and let's just go through a few of them here. Most were interested in how the two grinders compare, the K Plus and the JX Pro, and some people also want to know how it fared against the Comandante. The JX Pro, I feel like we've already covered a lot in this video, and for the Comandante I have ordered one, so there will be a big comparison in another video, probably next year. Somebody also asked if the grinder would be a good fit with the Flair espresso maker, and to that I would say yes. Lever machines with small baskets are generally good. I did use it with the robot and I was less impressed when using it with that 58mm basket. Somebody also wanted to hear if it's easier to calibrate this one compared to the JX Pro, which is not that easy to find back to the 0 point. Here I would definitely say yes, even though it's a kind of an advanced grinder. It's pretty easy to reassemble and calibrate. Like all EasyPresso grinders, you can take it apart without using any tools. But when you recalibrate it to 0, it's important that you don't tighten it too much, because then you risk the burr locking, and it can be very hard to open up the grinder again. I'm speaking from personal experience here, so just trust me. Make sure you study the instructions really well before you do it. Maybe check out some videos here on YouTube about the disassembly, and then go really slow and only tighten the top ring when the red dot and the 0 are perfectly aligned, and that way it's really easy to get the 0 point back, but just be a little bit careful. Okay, it's time for the verdict. I think EasyPresso in many ways have followed up the JX with an even better product. The technological advancements on the K Plus are quite remarkable. They've put an aggressive 48mm burr set into an even slimmer body. The adjustment mechanism is probably the most comfortable and intuitive of any hand grinder available. The magnetic ground spin is also the nicest I've tried on any grinder, and it comes with that blind shaker thing that works really well. It's fast, it's consistent, it grinds fine and coarse, and overall the coffee just tastes good. But the big challenge is that EasyPresso has already made another grinder that has set the bar really high. The JX and JX Pro don't have that superior adjustment system and the same magnetic catch cup, but they're also quite a bit more affordable. The JX Pro is $100 cheaper, and with that one you also get more precise adjustment and, in my opinion, slightly better flavor profile for espresso. You can argue that the flavors are a bit more interesting for brewed coffee with the K Plus, but the two grinders are still very close. When you have the grinders right next to each other, there's no doubt that the K Plus feels like a more sophisticated and premium product. However, it's also placed at a price point where it's a lot harder to say that it's an absolute steal for the money, the same way you can do with both of the JX models. If you can afford it and you appreciate the extra features, then it's definitely worth it. But if you're more budget conscious or you're more in the espresso camp, I think the JX Pro might still be the better option. Oh, and don't forget, EasyPresso also has the JE Plus, which combines the K Plus catch cup with a more granular adjustment of the JX Pro. I haven't tried that one, but by all accounts it's even better for espresso. So yeah, K Plus, cool features, really slick engineering. It's good for most brewing methods, and it feels really nice in the hand. If you liked the video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more reviews like this one, then hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out in the future. I'd also love to know what you think about this grinder. Is it worth it over the JX Pro? Let me know down in the comment section below. That's it for today. I'll see you in another coffee video very soon.